Don't fuck up. Don't fuck yourself. Don't fuck up.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Root Cookie School podcast. You kind of went 1.5 there. Welcome, everyone, to a new day, a new dawn. We are coming at you live. As you heard, I'm not the one who ruined the beginning of this episode.
Fuck you, John.
I'm your host, John Hauser III, and with me
Your
is...
guest host, former co-host, Jeni Peck. I'm back, bitches!
Hey! What's
Hi,
up,
John.
man?
I'm
How
doing
you
great. It's good to see ya.
It's fucking great to
Yeah. It has
Oh,
been,
wow.
apparently.
It's
I
been a
fucked
while.
it up.
No, you didn't fuck anything up. Fire fucked it up. Fire
Did.
fucked itself. So what's been going on since the last time you were on, like
A year ago. Well, let's see. I went on a mental health journey.
Because you were on like that. You were on the last time you were on was like December,
Was it?
right? It was like a Christmas.
Yeah, I think it was around
think so.
Christmas time.
Because it's me,
Yeah,
you, and Evan,
yeah.
right?
But yeah, I've just been living the dream. As they say, when there's a dumpster fire and you're just trying to get by. No, things.
Yeah, try and climb.
Right.
Over the
No,
dumpster.
things have been really good. I went on my mental health journey and gave myself some time to kind of reevaluate what's important in life and and what to spend my energy on. And I realized that wasn't spending time with you, John.
Well, that's the most important thing we all know.
Just I needed a little bit of break from literally everything in life.
Me.
Well, yeah, that's a given, but
A year and however long you were on, you're like, this is too fucking much.
it was no, I'm doing great now. I highly recommend people fucking go talk to a therapist. It's easy, it's awesome, it makes you feel good. And that's what's important in life, really. And I knew I had to start doing that when things that usually make me happy, like talking to you lovely people, was not making me happy. So I knew there was something going on there. And I feel great right now because I've been working on that. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing and thank you for being so open.
Yeah.
Hopefully someone will hear this and take advantage of their own chances and
I
opportunities.
think they should because, like, I'm 42 years old, and even though I intellectually understood therapy and understood the benefits of it, for some reason I thought, because of my ego, that I didn't need it and that I could just pull through whatever bullshit life throws at you. And that's dumb. Maybe I could have, but why should I have to? Why should you have to? Yeah.
No, totally.
When there's somebody who's outside of your circle who loves you. Sometimes it's hard to talk to people who love you because they just want to fix it, or it's just they are looking it through your lens. And it's really refreshing sometimes to talk to someone who can look at it from the outside. And so I realized, hey, that's pretty cool. And I also realized, hey, this makes me feel better, so I'm going to keep doing it. So there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, I went a little weird during the pandemic and had to start seeing a therapist because I was I needed it, like you said, I needed a third party to just your partner gets real tired of your shit pretty quickly.
Sure.
And that's not to say it's a bad partner. It's just they don't know what to do, and it's nice to have someone who actually knows what they're doing saying, hey, have you put these, do you see these two dots? Can you put them together? And then you go, oh.
Exactly.
Oh, right. Oh, shit. If only for that thing, right? Like,
It's so funny how quickly they can point that out to, like, your patterns and you don't see it. So, yeah, that's pretty great.
Yeah, it's weird. It's almost like
I know, right? Like they went to school or something.
Fucking nerds. How's the business? How's
Peck's Place is great. It's busy. I have the best team in the world helping me out, and Yeah, so things are finally running. Like, I'm still like waiting for the other shoe to drop and there be a fire, but that already happened. So, what are the odds of that happening again?
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't tempt fate.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
Don't poke it with a stick.
Things have been great, and it's let me actually like work normal hours and make time for hobbies and cook more.
So you're only working 15 hours a day
all.
now.
Yeah. Easy peasy. That's like a half day for me.
Yeah, no shit.
But yeah,
so you're cooking more.
I'm cooking more. I picked up a new hobby. I started fly fishing, which is which is really weird.
It's super weird, but I get it. It's super relaxing.
It really
right?
is, and I'm lucky enough that my father-in-law is a avid fly fisherman. He's been doing it for over 50 years. He makes his own rods. He ties his own flies. He's traveled the country, fishing. So I really had the fast track guide to really just dive into it very quickly. You want to come along?
Hi, my name's John. Hi, my name's John.
Yeah,
I have a question. Are you tying your own flies now?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, you motherfucker! You are in deep already.
I am in deep.
Jesus Christ! How long have you been doing it for?
Well, I guess I've been fishing for only a couple months now. I think I started it like maybe 4 months ago. So it's been new. But like I said, when I start a new project, I go in head neck deep, and it was a lot of research, a stack of books from my father-in-law, and just going out as much as I can and like getting experience on the water. And I don't know, it's just so much fun. It's relaxing. You get to be outside, you get to go hiking, and even if you don't catch fish, it's like you get to do that, you get to be outside, and we all need vitamin D.
Have you caught any fish?
Yeah, I've caught tons of fish. Yeah.
Really? I've never seen one person catch a fish.
Wow, really?
Except for at the end of the movie The Quiet Man, the priest catches a fish right as Maureen O'Hara's trying to tell her that she hasn't had sex with her husband.
I don't know what movie you're talking about, but it was probably like an 80, like under the water in a scuba suit, like putting the hook on a fish.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was a movie from like 1954 or something like that. Like, so.
No, I think I got skunked like the first 2 times I went out because I had no fucking clue what I was doing. But I usually catch at least like 3 fish every time I go out. But yeah.
Oh wow! And what are you doing?
I'm releasing them. I only do catch and release. I don't eat them because I like fish, but like not that much. And it's a real bitch if you want to take them home because you have to take a cooler, and like I like to hike out far, so there's nobody around, and so yeah.
Strapping a cooler on your back,
and that it's like, and it's good for the fish. Like, I only use barbless hooks, and I keep them out of the water as little as possible. I take a look.
What the hell is a barbless hook?
It's a hook because usually fishing hooks have like it's a J. And then at the end of the short J, there's a little barb, and that helps the fish stay on. Yeah.
In my head, it was
a hookless hook. It's just a metal toothpick that I try to jab with my whip.
Yeah. Welcome back to having a conversation with me.
But yeah, barbless hook, and it's a little harder to bring them in because they can kind of like shake it off. If you don't keep like tension on the line. Anyway, this could turn into a fly fishing podcast.
Yeah.
But
which you told me there are tons of.
Yes, apparently. There are tons of, and some of them are cool, and some of them are very, very, very boring.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, but there's nothing more fun than just being out there and doing it. And I'm doing a weird style, well, not a weird style, but I do tenkara fly fishing, which is like, it's a Japanese style of fly fishing, and it's like minimalist. Like I use a fancy rod that's telescopic, and like it can go down to like 15 inches and go all the way up to like 12, 13 feet. And instead of a line on a reel at the base, the line is actually attached to the tip of the rod, And then I got to choose the length of line that I want to use depending on how big the water is that I'm fishing on and how far I need the line to go. So it's a little bit different technique, but all the basics are still there. You still use flies. I mostly fish for trout like most fly fishermen do because I mean, you can fly fish in the ocean for like giant fish. You just need the right
I've seen
rod.
that.
Yeah, but I like little creeks and rivers and hiking out there and and nice. Especially like in the fall, the weather's getting nice and cool and that's all fun. But yeah, it's great. It's cool. It's kind of like you know, you could go out there like I did with a rod, a line, and some flies that I bought online, and you don't catch fish. And as you're researching it and learning how to do it, really you're just trying to up your chances of catching a fish. And you can go as far as you want with that. You know, you can go as far as researching everything, reading, you know, hiring a guide to teach you other things and how to read the water, start tying your own flies. Or you can just go out every now and then, buy some flies and try to catch some fish, you know, and every now and then figure out what time of year it is and what type of fly you need to use. And that little bit of knowledge will up your chances of catching a fish. And so that's it. So it's like not a lot of pressure, I think. So, because I tend to like when I pick up hobbies, like if I'm not good at it immediately, like I lose interest. You know, that typical ADHD, like I have a million hobbies, but they don't last very long. But I'm like deep in it while I am. So, but this feels like it might be a lifelong journey.
That's nice.
It's fun. Yeah.
And it's not cooking, which, you know, is your other love, but it's also your work. So you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
you got something else to fall back on when you just want to relax. Yeah, yes, I got you.
That's what I like about it. Because I love cooking, but like I said, I love cooking because I love eating.
Right.
And so if I could always eat whatever I wanted, you know, like a personal chef or something like that, I don't know how often I would cook.
Gotcha. Speaking of eating, I know that you went to a specific place last week.
I did. I went to a place that is known for terrible food and no funness at all. I was in New Orleans.
Yeah. Totally known for shitty food and just
shitty food and no fun at all and just
also boring, no vampires.
Quiet, boring little town. You know, just crickets.
Yeah.
But anyway, I know I'm still not pronouncing it like the locals, but at least I'm not calling it New Orleans, which is what I'd been doing the whole time.
It's New Orleans. It's New Orleans.
But I'm I'm from Baltimore. I'm calling it New Orleans.
Don't say Nolans. God, I hate when people are like, I just got back from Nolans. You know, like, go fuck yourself.
All one word. N-A-W.
It's not yours. You can't do it. You don't live there. Stop it.
Yeah. It was just a quick weekend trip to meet up with some wonderful, beautiful friends, and we had a lovely time. I have to say, the main reason I had a lovely time is because I was with lovely people.
Sure.
And that
always
was
makes
nice.
The food taste better.
It really does. And it's fun exploring new places with friends and people that you love. So that was great. And it was really an opportunity to kind of expand like my research into what to do in New Orleans because my friends are vegetarians. So it really like opened up, hey.
Oh, right.
Yeah. But they're very cool vegetarians. So they are like very easy, man. Like they want us to enjoy ourselves too. We don't have to eat vegetarian in front of them. So like we found all these places that really catered to all of us. And I tend to, when I'm with them, try food that I never would try and I'm blown away, which I was this weekend. Like we went to this one restaurant that we stayed in Marigny, I think it's pronounced, which is like a more residential neighborhood bordering the French Quarter, where all the tourist stuff is, like Bourbon Street and Frenchman Street and all of that. So it was nice and quiet. And we ended up going to a lot of like just local neighborhood restaurants that like.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't busy. It wasn't crowded. It's what the locals are eating, so it has to be good. We found a little breakfast diner literally a block away that we ended up eating there every morning for breakfast instead of like walking into the French Quarter because their food was amazing. I had etouffee over potato latkes, which
Holy
is
shit.
quite a
What?
yeah for breakfast, and like sunny side up eggs and a biscuit.
Wait, it's all on one plate?
Yes, the biscuit's on the side. Shit. It's potato latke at the bottom, fried potato latke, and smothered in crawfish etouffee. And it was like, I was like licking the plate when I was done.
Oh my God, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, and then 2 sunny side up eggs or however style you like it, and then a biscuit on the side that you like also sopped up the etouffee, and everything was amazing. And I ate that like 4 days in a row for breakfast.
Why? Of course you did.
I know. We were like, should we try something else? I'm like, but I kind of want that. Like,
yeah, I'm already hooked.
We go, and I'm just going to be looking for that on the menu. So why go anywhere else? And we don't have to deal with, you know, the hordes and all of that, which was nice. And yeah, so we checked out Bourbon Street. We checked out a little bit of the tourist stuff. I have to say, maybe in my younger days, I would have enjoyed that part a little more.
Yeah.
But these days, it was a lot. It was loud.
It's overwhelming.
It's overwhelming. Even during the day, it was like drunk people stumbling around and loud music, which like the music was good. We definitely like, what's so great about it is you can walk down the street and just kind of like stand by a door or look in a window and listen and watch the really great music without having to go in and like try to squeeze into the crowds. So we still got to hear really great music, and we hopped into one place in like the tourist area where we got lucky and found like little cafe seats that like they had all the windows open, so like we got one seat outside and one seat inside, but we were actually sitting together.
Oh, that's cool.
Like yeah in the evening, and there was this live band, lots of horns. There were like Natch, 2 horns, a trombone, and a bass player, and it was like just classic New Orleans jazz. And it was beautiful. It was really good. And people were dancing, and it was a great time.
That's awesome. I've never been, but I've had a lot of friends go and tell me about their experience. And the closest I've ever been was going to like Key West, and, you know, during their sort of Halloween thing. And
so, and we lucked out. So apparently they do their Halloween parade the weekend before Halloween, so we were there for the parade.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and it literally started 2 blocks from where we were staying, so we got to just walk out and enjoy the parade. And they go all out, man.
I'm sure,
like, that's probably the biggest parade I've ever been to. The costumes were absolutely amazing. Like, I guess groups of people got together and they would like dress up as a theme. So we saw like, I think my favorite group was maybe 50 or 60 zombie Elvises.
Holy shit, that many?
Yeah. So many. Like, so many I lost count. Wow. And, like, half of them were on fucking electric scooters. and all, like, blinged out. Like, all decorated.
Sure.
And it was amazing. Yeah.
That's awesome.
There was a whole group that did, like, the Beetlejuice theme. And then they even did, like, the big paper mache. You know, like the Chinese dragon where like several people, like the snake, several people like control it. They had 2 of those, but the Beetlejuice snake.
The sandworms.
The sandworms,
yes. The black and white worms,
Yeah. And they were amazing. And of course it was like a group of 50 of them all dressed up in costumes.
That's amazing.
And it was sick, dude. It was amazing. The parade might be my favorite part of that trip. That's cool. Etouffee Latkes.
I mean, shit, just go back for the parade, you know? Like,
yeah.
Knowing that it does happen the week before, that's cool.
Yeah, and it's not on Bourbon Street. It's on, was it Frenchman? It's on a wider street, so it doesn't feel as crazy. And they still throw out candy and beads. So we definitely got some beads. I got hit in the face a couple times because I wasn't paying attention. But I got me some beads.
Nice.
And it was kid-friendly, too. So there were, like, lots of kids out there.
That's
and, cool. Well, I guess... Some of it was like, I don't know, the outfits. I don't know if this is kid friendly, but no one seemed to care. So
yeah.
I definitely saw a couple nips.
Well, I mean, it's New Orleans, so people are like flashing usually, and
yeah.
Like I remember that used to just be a thing for like Mardi Gras, and then they just started doing it like now every weekend they'll just do a thing, and everybody's like beads, you know. Okay.
Well, apparently,
it's just plastic. You can buy bags of it at Party City, right?
Yeah, right. Like you pass stores that just sell them. It only costs like $200 to get a permit for a parade, and you can even get for that $200 you get a police escort.
Really?
And then you can just do it. There doesn't need to be a special reason or occasion.
You mean here or there?
No, in New Orleans.
Oh, I was gonna say. I was gonna be like, let's have a parade fucking this weekend down my block.
I know, right? So, like, driving around when we were trying to check out some other neighborhoods, we kept getting stuck behind fucking parades. And just like randos, I didn't know what they were parading for. Like, was it a wedding, a funeral, birthday celebration? There were no signs. It was just like one band, like a small band walking, and like that was cool, but then just a bunch of rando people following them.
Well, a lot of times that's like sort of a funeral thing sometimes, so that the band is the front line with some of the family, but that's the front line, and then everybody, all the party goers and hangers on, or people that are just like, hey, party, that's called the second line. So when people are like, yeah, we're going to a second line, like that means you could just go and do a thing.
You're just tagging on to a funeral parade.
Yeah, because everybody just drinks and dances and fucking has a good time, and that's what it is.
That's kind of awesome, but it was also very random. Like,
what was the best thing you had down there?
The best thing I ate was, all right, this might be blasphemy, but we went to a local restaurant in God, what was the name of the neighborhood? It was in a residential neighborhood. It wasn't in the tourist area.
Okay.
And we went there twice. It was so good. So during the day, it's called like the Pickle Brine or the Pickle Cafe or something like that. I'm gonna have to put these in the bio, in our bio or something, because I of course forgot to write down the name. So during the day, it's a restaurant, breakfast and lunch. They pickle everything. There's like brines. Half the menu is
the sneaky
vegan.
Pickle.
The sneaky pickle, yes, sir. And I ended up eating a vegan Reuben.
Okay.
And it was fucking delicious. Like it was so good. And they had this other like sauteed greens and green beans and like kind of a nut sauce. Like it tasted like an aioli or something, but it was made with like nuts. Absolutely delicious. So good. And then in the evening, they change it to bar brine. So it's like a fancier dinner with like fancy cocktails place. And the best thing I ate was hand pulled squid ink noodles, like kind of like Chinese style, where it's like the hand pulled cumin lamb noodles.
I'm looking at the menu right now and I'm like, Jesus Christ.
It was squid ink noodles with shrimp and crab. And that was the best thing I put in my mouth. Like when we like got the dish, it was beautiful. And then I pick up the noodle and it was one long fucking noodle.
Oh, shit.
But it was huge.
Oh, yeah, because it's hand pulled. Yeah.
So like I couldn't even lift my arm far enough to like get it out of the bowl. But it was all one piece. It was perfectly al dente. And like the flavors were almost reminiscent of like Cajun and Asian like flavors.
Yeah. So what what the menu says is hand pulled squid ink noodles, daikon, shrimp, crab, cream, chili, peanut, sesame.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's like 8,000 other ingredients they're not telling you about.
Yeah, I definitely I feel like everything we ordered had like a pinch of this dried chili flake that wasn't very spicy but tasted amazing. Yeah. And that was like kind of their signature like house spice because, I have to say everything I ate was so well seasoned. Like they don't mess around with the season. Nothing was bland.
It's no like, oh, you're worried about your salt intake. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, no, not at all. Even the Lila ordered a Bloody Mary and it was so salty. Like it was almost too salty, but I liked it.
So your Reuben, is made out of tempeh.
Uh-huh.
And then caramelized onions, Thousand Island dressing, which I'm sure they make in house, sauerkraut, which they probably also make, and then fries.
Oh, they definitely made that in house. Yeah. And it was a purple cabbage sauerkraut.
Yes,
and it was fucking delicious.
The picture looks amazing on their website.
Yeah.
Wow, their prices are really good.
Yeah, because it's a neighborhood joint. Like, you go in there, it's all neighborhood people. Like, it felt like there were no tourists in there.
Dude, the most expensive thing they have is a swordfish, and that's $30. But their next most expensive thing is they got a Wagyu steak, which is $32 for Christ's sake. But
I know
the dry aged pork chop, thick pork chop for
we got that too.
$25.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Fennel gremolata. Ooh, that sounds good.
Oh, it was.
Wow, cool.
It was very good. Yeah, I think that was my favorite meal.
That's
like both
awesome.
of them. Like eating at that place.
Yeah, this place looks great.
Yeah.
The sneaky pickle.
Yeah, the sneaky pickle, man. Check it out. Like, I have to say, if you're not if you don't drink a lot and you can't take a lot of loud, crowded, touristy places, check out all the different neighborhoods. Like, I wish we could have explored other neighborhoods, but we kind of like stayed in ours because there was enough and we could walk around.
Yeah.
And it was so fun looking. Like, their houses are so cool and old, and everyone had their houses decorated for Halloween already, so that was fun. And we even passed a pig. I guess somebody had a pet pig that was like in their yard.
Okay.
And it just came up to the fence when we were walking by and scared the shit out of me. Because it was big and it had some gnarly teeth, but he was very sweet. Even though they had a beware of dog sign like right above it.
That's the ugliest dog I've ever seen.
Seriously. But yeah, that was good. All right. People might disagree with me on this opinion, though. We did the one major tourist thing we did was go to Cafe Du Monde. And we went to the original location.
I know what you're going to say.
And I have to say,
they're not good.
It's fucking overrated, dude. It's a fried beignet. It was a little greasy. It wasn't as light as I would like it. And the chicory coffee was watered down trash.
Wow, really? I've never had...
Yeah,
I've only had chicory coffee once, and I didn't like it.
Yeah.
And most of the beignets I've had are really... I'm like, this is kind of like funnel cake. I don't give a shit.
It is, but like I've had good beignets like in restaurants here in Baltimore who've had it on dessert on their dessert menu occasionally, and like I've had good chicory coffee. I actually ended up going to a local coffee shop and just getting my own chicory coffee, and then brought it home and just been brewing it at home, and it's good. It's like it almost tastes like if coffee was like a nut. It's like a nutty coffee, if that makes sense.
Yeah, maybe I just had a bad batch. Like you said. Yeah. I also don't drink coffee.
Absolutely delicious. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, really overrated. And like we went at a good time where it wasn't really crowded. We waited in line for like 10 minutes. And
oh wow, that's amazing actually. Because the lines are we normally got there crazy.
At a good time. Yes, yeah. But we didn't like want a table. And if people don't know, if you do go there and want to try for yourself, because you don't believe me, even though I'm always right, if you go in the back, this is at the main location in the French Quarter. If you go behind where all the tables are, there's a back window where you can walk up to and it's just to go, but then there's just like all these benches on the side where you can just look into where people are sitting and you're practically sitting with them and eat your fucking shitty beignets and chicory coffee, and there you go. And you don't have to wait in longer lines.
But at least you did it, you know what I mean? Like now you got a story.
Like, I hope I'm allowed back one day.
Not after bad mouthing Cafe Du Monde.
Bombing on. I know, right? Maybe I shouldn't go back. No, I would go back. Okay, here's the best part, though. I came back with $120 worth of boudin.
That I'm not surprised about. You're like...
It's hard to get...
You're like,
no one makes boudin.
I can't carry fish, like a half a mile, but then you travel with boudin fucking like 500 miles.
I mean, it's sausage. It was an ordeal.
Awesome.
So, there are certain brands that producers in Louisiana that are known for their boudin. It's really good. You can get it mail ordered, but it's about 4 times as expensive for the sausage, and then you have to pay like $100 for overnight shipping. Like, and I've looked online everywhere, trust me, and it's just like, I would get in trouble for spending that much money on sausage, even though if I didn't get in trouble, I would do it anyway. But I saw this as an opportunity. How the fuck can I take sausage home with me? So we didn't check bags. We took carry-ons, but then we bought a cooler and we bought a bunch of boudin and froze it and then put it in the styrofoam cooler and like taped it all up with duct tape, and then we checked that.
Oh, are you allowed to do that?
Yeah. No, apparently not.
Oh.
So we get to the front counter to check our bags, and the ladies are like, yep. And the lady's like, no, you can't check that bag. We don't do styrofoam. And I'm like, fuck. And they're like, and I'm like, okay, is it small enough to carry on? They're like, maybe. And they're like, is there ice in there? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, no.
Yeah, liquids, no can do.
Yeah. So they were a little grumpy because we were holding up the line, and you know, they are very busy ladies. Yeah. And I felt so bad because I'm an idiot and I should have looked this up, but I got so excited about sausage that I, wasn't thinking. But once I told them, I was like, this is $120 worth of boudin. We cannot get this in Baltimore. It is very precious to me. What can I do to get this home with me? And like after the moment I said that, they were all like, all right. Yeah. So they went back. They got like this heavy duty wax cardboard box. And they unloaded the cooler for me, packed it up for me, taped the shit out of it, and checked it for me. Like just the frozen boudin. And it fucking
without
survived.
The ice. Okay, because it's frozen. It's ice itself. So it keeps itself.
It was rock hard. Yeah. So when I got it home, it was still fucking frozen. Awesome. So yeah. But I was like sweating bullets. I was like, if I can't take this sausage with me, I would have just been in the terminal like handing out sausages. Like,
welcome to New Orleans.
Or just stuffing my carry-on with a couple of sausages.
Wrapping
I don't
a shirt in it and shit.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but the moment we got home, we defrosted and ate some, and I do not regret the hassle because it's so fucking good, John.
Good.
I got classic boudin from a couple different makers, and I also got some crawfish boudin, which I've never tried before. Oh. Fucking amazing. Wow. It is like Louisiana in a pork casing. So fucking good. And yeah, so I'm going to be eating boudin every day for like the next 6 months.
So there's a lot of different shit in boudin, right? Like it's usually like pork and rice.
It's pork and rice is the classic version in a natural casing, and there's usually always a little like liver or something, like some offal in there, and you can definitely taste it.
Is there Trinity in there too?
Like there's, yes, right. Probably, and like, but the spicing is like very mild, but something about it, man, it's delicious, and like, it used to be like working man's food. You would find it like in the back, like you find hot dogs at a 7-Eleven or like at a convenience store. But in Louisiana, it's in the back of the convenience store and it's steamed boudin. And people don't even eat it in a bun, and they don't even eat the casing. They just squeeze it out. It's like
okay. So there's like liver and celery.
Pork tube.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's smoked.
Right? No, a version can be smoked, but I like the not smoked kind.
You got the raw kind.
Yeah, I got the fresh.
Yeah, fresh.
I've never actually had the smoked because I've only had the fresh, so I'm not interested in the smoke because the fresh is so good.
Yeah, I've bought smoked kind. I don't remember where I got it from, and it was amazing. You know, because it's already it's smoked, so it's kind of pre-cooked. I mean, it is pre-cooked. Yeah. They smoke it enough to where it cooks. And then all you got to do is sear it off in medallions or whatever. But wow, that's crazy. So you bought like different kinds from different vendors? Yeah.
That's
the most you shit ever.
I bought it, I I even researched like where like because there they have the good shit in the grocery stores, like just in the the meat section. And then I researched which grocery stores carried which brands. And so we went out of our way to go to this grocery store because they were also known for their house-made boudin, and like even locals were like, this is good, So I got some of theirs called Rouse's. If you're ever there, their boudin, I can tell you, is very good. I got Vernon's, which I had actually never heard of, but people were telling me there that it's good, and it was. And then there's One Stop, which is like outside of New Orleans, but they're like famous for their boudin. And I also got theirs. And I also got some of their smoked andouille sausage, which I'm really excited about because we are definitely making some gumbo and jambalaya and etouffee. And I'm very excited
Fall
about
is
that.
such a good time for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like I made bean soup last weekend. I was like, yeah, it's that time.
Yeah, it's soup and braising season for sure, which is my favorite time of year.
Yeah, me too.
So.
It's funny because like when I was down in Virginia or North Carolina where my in-laws live now, I made a point to go to a Piggly Wiggly and get, have you ever had Tom Thumb sausage?
Oh no, I haven't.
So it's like a big, like it's like a ball. It's like bigger than it's like 2 times. It's almost like a duck pin, bowling ball. It's like that kind of a thing. Yeah, it's like sausage that's
that shape.
Yeah, but it's wonky because it's like stuffed inside some sort of like giant beef innard thing. Like the bung or like the big one, you know what I'm saying? Well, I know. God damn it. But yeah, and it's like a little vinegary and a lot of celery seed. It's really good. Mm-hmm. But you got to boil it first, and then you slice it, and then you fry it. It's fucking really good.
Nice. Yeah. That sounds good. Oh shit! I forgot. On our last day, we did go to another tourist spot, but it was fucking good. And, Turkey and the Wolf. Have you ever heard of it? I feel like they've been on, like, lists, and stuff like that. But it's a sandwich shop, and we went, like, on our way to the airport for lunch, and my favorite thing from there was a friggin' fried bologna sandwich with potato chips, and I believe there was coleslaw on there and like a Thousand Island style dressing on like really good buttery griddled rye bread. And it was so good.
Wow.
And what they're also known for is a collard green grilled cheese, which was also amazing.
That I know from this is the place that made me fucking go, I want to go to this fucking place. Yep. Mm-hmm. It's Triple D.
Yep, it was
collard
worth the hype.
Green melt.
It was so good.
Shit.
Yeah. And it's this like tiny place, like really small. Apparently the lines are like really long. Again, we got super lucky and went kind of like in the off hour, like after the lunch rush, before dinner. And so we didn't have to wait very long, and we got a table. And yeah, it was fucking delicious. And then at the end, we got, they had soft serve, and their topping of the day was fucking potato chips.
Oh, wow.
So they make their own vanilla soft serve. It was amazing. It was barely sweet. And then they crumbled friggin' plain Lay's potato chips on top. And we accidentally ordered too much because there's 4 of us. So I was like, let's order 3. Because we all are obsessed with soft serve. And so we got like 1 plain and 2 chips because we're going to love the chips. They were fucking huge, John. Like towards the end, like I couldn't stop eating it because it was so good, but we were like rolled out of there. And then had to get on a plane.
Yeah, I think they make their own like vegan chicken. And I think I remember watching them make it going, holy shit, that's how I want to do that.
Yeah, my friend Jennifer got that, and they loved
really
it.
Good.
I did not take a bite of that one.
Wow, cool.
But and they had a an everything bagel wedge salad. So it's like classic wedge, bacon bits, tomatoes, and like their house like ranchy blue cheesy dressing, and then tons of everything bagel seasoning. And like it was just drenched in dressing. Like I could definitely see some people saying like that's too much, but I love places like that. Too much is good. I love too much.
I love dressing.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I love dressing.
And it was delicious.
Holy shit. Hog's Head cheese taco?
Oh, fuck. I forgot about that. We had one of those too.
Fuck.
That was okay.
Jesus Christ.
It was like, I couldn't really pick out the hog's head. It just tasted like a regular pork taco. And it wasn't bad, but.
Just like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After everything else, it was like, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
that's awesome, dude.
Yeah. So it wasn't bad.
All right. So we've just caught up with you for 1 year.
Yeah. It's very eventful.
Your whole life for 1 year. Done and done.
I got a lot done.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad everything is going in the right direction for you.
Thanks.
I'm glad that you went on an awesome trip. I'm more glad that you're here with me.
Yeah.
You know why?
Why?
Because we're going to talk about motherfucking candy corn.
Yes.
So how do you feel about candy corn?
I fucking love candy corn.
It's polarizing these days. Like everybody hates it.
It is. And I think like people like go overboard with the hate. It's like a band.
Oh, of course.
They get on the bandwagon. It's like people make it it's like cool to hate candy corn or something like that.
Yeah, it's like hating pineapple on pizza.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, have you ever fucking had pineapple on pizza? It's fucking delicious.
It is.
Yeah.
It is really.
And so, yeah, I love candy corn. I don't like all the like crazy, they're like switching it up and adding a chocolate piece and making other flavors. I like the classic orange, yellow, and white candy corn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it too. I don't eat a lot of it, but around this time of year, I'm like, I'll pick it out of Crosby's basket because he's a big fan of it.
Yeah.
Because Crosby, 12 just wants like, I don't even know.
Candy bars.
Well,
what are kids into these days?
I don't know. He's weird. He really likes either like those dip and stick things where it's just pure fucking sugar.
Oh yeah.
Which is funny.
Though.
No, totally. But like normally he doesn't like things that are overly sweet.
Mm-hmm.
So like he's a big what's the toy from England, like the thing that has the toy in it, the egg? The Kinder egg. Yeah. He loves those. I mean, you're not going to get those for Halloween, but like that's his favorite. That's his go-to. Yeah.
Nice.
So, yeah, but if he gets them, I'll sneak a bunch of them.
Yeah, I won't go out of my way to go buy them, but if I come across them, especially during Halloween, I'll try to get some.
Okay, well, let's get into it. So, if you don't know...
what the fuck is candy corn made of?
Good question. Candy corn is a small pyramid-shaped candy, typically divided into 3 sections of different colors, with a waxy texture, we'll get to that in a bit, and a flavor based on honey, sugar, butter, and vanilla. So if you're ever, like, everybody kind of knew it was vanilla, but that one thing you can't place, honey.
Mm-hmm.
It's a staple candy of the fall and Halloween in North America. Candy corn's traditional colors of yellow, orange, and white represent the color of the fall harvest, or of the corn on the cob, with the wide yellow end resembling the corn kernel. Candy corn has a reputation for generating polarizing responses, with people loving it or hating it, and, that's why we're talking about it. So, chicken feed was originally the name of the candy.
What?
Yep, it was called chicken feed. That's how it started, with production in the late 1880s. It was first invented in the 1880s. Yeah, right? Fucking 1880. In the 1880s by a Wunderle. I guess I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's a German thing. Wunderle Candy Company employee. His name was George Renninger. Wunderle Candy Company. This is in America, by the way. Was the first. Oh, okay. So if it's American, it's Wunderle. It was the first to produce the candy in 1888. 10 years later, in 1898, Golitz picked up the recipe and started making the kernels as a candy called chicken feed. This was this is all from what I'm reading right now from a writer named Rebecca Rupp, from National Geographic. So they called it chicken feed because before World War I, most Americans didn't think of corn as food. So, quote, there were no sweet hybrids in those days, unquote, writes Samira Kawash, author of Candy, A Century of Panic and Pleasure, in an article that she wrote in The Atlantic. Quote, corn was coarse and cheap and not very tasty. Good food for pigs and chickens. It wasn't until wartime wheat shortages in 1917 that anyone but the poorest Americans would have considered corn flour, cornmeal, or cornbread acceptable foodstuffs, unquote.
Wow.
Crazy, right? Like to think that within 100 years, corn's just completely come to dominate everything.
Yeah, it's literally in everything.
It's literally in everything. Like I'm taking a drink of gin right now, probably made of corn.
Are you just drinking straight gin out of a cup?
Yes. No, of course not. I'm drinking soda water, gin, and elderflower liquor because I'm a fancy lad.
Fancy.
I will say that I know my gin's not made from corn. It's probably made from rice because it's Japanese.
Extra fancy.
Yay! I like the Japanese gin. It's way better. It doesn't taste like super duper pine trees. It's got a nice floral.
I like the pine tree-ness of gin. That's what I like about it.
I do too sometimes, but a lot of times I like a more complex flavor, and the Japanese one really brings it out. In the first half of the 20th century, candy corn became a common penny candy. These were types of treats kids could buy in bulk for very little money. Kids most likely thought of them as candies to eat year-round more than special ones to get on Halloween, which wasn't yet specifically associated with candy. Candy corn might appear at Halloween parties, but also at celebrations for Thanksgiving or Easter. Like anything that celebrated nature-y kind, you know what I mean? Like
in the fall.
Right, the fall, or even Easter, where, you know, corn's starting to maybe start to come up, or, you know, it was just a candy. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't specified. I mean, Christ, back in the early 20th century, it was like 4 candies, right? And most of them were licorice flavor. So kids were like, fuck that shit. As Halloween became more and more dominated by candy beginning in the 1950s, candy corn increasingly became the candy for Halloween. Kawash wrote it. Quote, there was a dramatic spike in October advertising of candy corn beginning in the 1950s. Other kinds of candies were advertised for Halloween too, but they were advertised just as heavily during the rest of the year. Unquote. Today, while it's easy to find candy corn year-round, the National Confectioners Association estimates that more than 35 million pounds of candy are sold every year of candy corn.
Jesus.
Yeah. It's most prominent in October, when on the 30th of October, it's National Candy Corn Day.
Oh,
in honor of good old chicken feed. So Golditz became Jelly Belly.
Okay.
So they still make the candy corn, but the largest manufacturer of candy corn is Brock's, owned by the Ferrera Candy Company. God, everybody owns everybody, and nobody's original name means shit anymore. It's just everybody buys the brands just for the names, right?
Capitalism.
One conglomerate owns so many of the names just so they can make money on that.
Yeah, and 6 of the richest people in the world control everything, so.
Yeah. Illuminati. Brock's makes approximately 7 billion pieces of candy corn per year and possesses 85% of the total share of the candy corn industry during Halloween season.
Wow. Who's eating all this candy corn? I mean, I like candy corn, but that's a lot of fucking candy corn.
A lot of people are buying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, we'll get into some of it, like, the way it breaks down and shit, but, like, you know, it's comforting to older people. And actually more of, I guess, my generation. you're not specifically Gen X.
No,
but you're
am I older people now?
You're
I'm
an
on
elder.
the cusp.
You're an elder millennial.
I'm an elder millennial, but I'm literally on the first year of being considered a millennial. So
So yeah, Gen X likes it better.
Yeah.
Than even boomers, which is weird. But it by just a couple percentages, which is weird because I'm like, I can't imagine. I guess it's just because that's what we grew up with, but so did they.
Like I remember
candy corn's been around since the 1800s.
Yeah, but I remember candy corn being more in my life during childhood than it is now. I mean, I guess it's because I'm an adult and don't have kids, but
and you're not going out buying candy all the time.
I mean, speak for yourself.
I mean, yes, you are, but there's so much more variety.
Yeah, I've graduated to like gummies, like gummy bears and sours and things. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Along with other agricultural-inspired treats in the late 19th century, America's confectioners sought to market candy corn to a large rural society. During the late 19th century, buttercream candies, molded into many types of nature-inspired shapes, including chestnuts, turnips, and clover leaves, were quite popular. But what made candy corn stand out was it was bright and it had the iconic 3-color layering. I can't think of anything more boring than a chestnut looking piece of candy.
Molded candy. Also, like, how did it look like a chestnut in a turnip?
That's what I'm saying. Okay, I get that turnip, but turnip has like, a little nipple and it's, it's got like a top or whatever.
A little tail, yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. Clover's a clover shape, but like a chestnut's literally just like a sort of squished ball. So weird.
I bet the kids got real excited about that one.
Yeah, totally. Woo! So as of 2016, like we said, the U.S. production in the United States production was 35 million pounds, 9 billion pieces of candy, with most of it being sold during the Halloween season. And originally, the candy was made by hand. So manufacturers first combined sugar, corn syrup, and water and cooked them to I can't speak right now. I'm reading ahead. Sorry. Cooked them to form a slurry. Fondant was added for texture, and marshmallows were added to provide a soft bite. So, I'm always like, fondant, when you think about it, is relatively pliable, and I'm sure that's more to soften it up, but then the marshmallows give it like the airiness.
Yeah.
Because the sugar, corn syrup, and water is just
it'll
like
harden.
You're just making candy, like basic, soft crack, hard crack. You're not cooking it. You're not cooking it to like caramel stuff. So, the final mixture was heated and poured into shaped molds. 3 passes, one for each color section, where they basically had to do it by hand. Like they're literally just like bloop bloop into each little mold, and to make sure the mold doesn't fall apart, and then coming in 2 more times. Like it sounds miserable.
Yeah.
The recipe is similar today. The production method, called quote unquote cornstarch modeling, likewise remains the same, although tasks initially performed by hand are now taken over by machines. The ingredients now today are basically sugar, corn syrup, salt, sesame oil, honey, artificial flavor, food coloring, gelatin, and confectioner's glaze. So the confectioner's glaze, which makes it nice and shiny, is made from a thing called lac resin, which is, of course, a bug secretion.
Wait, so candy corn isn't vegan?
Yeah, no, I guess not. Candy corn is bugs.
Wow.
Candy corn is bugs! So weird.
Also, I like that you tried to sneak that sesame oil through there. There's fucking sesame oil in candy corn.
Yeah, weird, right? Like,
yeah, that's so random.
It's super random. Like, I guess that's to provide a more earthier flavor, I guess.
I wish I could say I could pick that out, but I don't.
You can have really, really, filtered sesame oil. It just tastes like oil.
That's true. That's very true. Man, bug secretion, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
all the technology in the world, they couldn't come up with their own confectioner's glaze. They're had
still
to use
doing
bug
that
secretion.
Shit. All that. I mean, we've talked about it before where it's like, all right, this certain kind of red is made from the carapaces of beetles. This fake vanilla extract is taken from the fucking glands of beaver anuses. You know, like that's all real stuff, you know, like
yep.
It's fucking crazy. Like, why are they getting all these beaver anuses from?
I don't know.
Yeah, weird.
Are they happy?
I don't think so. They can't be.
That has to be gross because I just think about have you ever had to excrete
no
your dog's glands?
I'll never do it. Nope.
Yeah. I tried it like once or twice and I was like, no, groomer and the vet have to do this. It was scarring. Yeah.
No thanks.
Yeah.
But imagine somebody just doing these poor little beavers.
I know. And then we eat it.
Yeah. Yep.
In our desserts. Cool.
Hope you love your imitation vanilla. So speaking of loving, you're going to love this. A popular variation called Harvest Corn adds cocoa powder. It features a chocolate brown wide end, orange center, and pointed white tip. It's often available around Thanksgiving. During the Halloween season, blackberry cobbler candy corn can be found in eastern Canada, as well as candy corn shaped like pumpkins. I do like the pumpkin ones.
Yeah, the pumpkins are good because they taste like the regular ones.
Right, but it's more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to stick 14 pieces in your mouth. Confectioners have introduced similar color variations to other holidays. There's a Christmas variant called reindeer corn that has a red end and a green center. A Valentine's Day that's pink and red. In the United States during Independence Day celebrations, corn with a blue end, a white center, and a red tip named Freedom Corn, because of course, can be found at celebratory cookouts and patriotic celebrations. I've never seen that ever.
I've never seen those in my life.
Yeah, and then they got pastel ones for Easter. And there's also been caramel apple and green apple flavors, s'mores, pumpkin spice, carrot corn, which is green and orange with a carrot cake flavor, birthday cake flavor. And last year in 2022, Brock's released a tailgate variant with fruit punch, vanilla ice cream, popcorn, hot dog, and hamburger flavored pieces. I think we talked about that in a food news last year.
Whoa. Yeah. I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's on the weird flavor bandwagon.
Super fucking weird. I mean, with all the backlash, they're like, all right, we have all these machines, we have all this candy, what are we going to do with it? Like they got to figure out something to do because the regular flavor isn't working anymore.
Yeah. It's just like two guys getting high being like, dude, what if we made hot dog flavored candy corn?
Yeah. But we mix it with hamburger, vanilla ice cream, popcorn, and fruit punch.
Yeah, the fruit
dude. Yeah. Oh man. Meanwhile, fucking like, yeah, that sounds great. Like fucking just fuck yeah.
Yeah.
There also are candy corn flavored snacks. So you can get Oreos that taste like candy corn. You can get M&Ms that taste like candy corn, and marshmallows and a lot of other things that taste like traditional candy corn.
That's so weird. All right, I can admit that candy corn doesn't taste that great, but there's something satisfying about it, and I do enjoy the texture for some reason.
So reading this, I'm like, okay, like I get it. Candy corn isn't like the most wonderful flavor, but I think about it lovingly. But there's one thing that I heard about, like researching this, that I'm like, I really need to check this out. And it's mixing candy corn and roasted peanuts. And I'm like, oh shit.
Oh, I could see
and
that.
there's another mixture that's candy corn, M&Ms, and salted peanuts. Like cocktail peanuts.
That sounds lovely.
Yeah, doesn't it? Like, so you get like chocolate and then vanilla-y sweet stuff, and then salty peanuts. Yeah. Or a lot of people are just traditionalists that just do the peanuts and the candy corn.
Yeah, or like you could throw it in with popcorn.
I was gonna
double the corn, exactly. Double the fun.
Got real corn, candy corn,
candy corn, and corn.
Corn squared. Yeah, let's do it. It actually does sound good.
That does sound good. I love putting candy in our movie popcorn. What our go-to are Reese's Pieces. It used to be Goobers, but what are happening to all the movie Goobers? Lately, we've been going to the movies and there's no Goobers.
Oh, I don't know.
It's literally the only time I eat Goobers, but
it's the only time I eat Goobers,
because I never see them anywhere except at the movies.
Goobers or Raisinets, only time.
Ew, no, I don't like raisins.
No, are you not a raisin person, or
and
just
we
Raisinets?
all know why.
Why?
You know I'm not a raisin person.
Oh, right. That's right. We did an episode on it. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So weirdly, candy corn's a low-calorie snack, but it does contain a lot of sugar. Yeah. You can eat, I mean, I don't know how low-calorie this is. You can eat 14 pieces, and it's under 100 calories.
That, like, who eats just 14 pieces?
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, I read this and I was going to keep it in because some people might just want like a couple. Like, you know.
Yeah,
I honestly don't think I eat 14 pieces of candy corn when I decide to eat it. Like, it probably limits out at like 8. You know what I'm like? Okay, I get it. Like, I got my candy corn for the year. Like, I'm not eating a whole bag.
Yeah. I'm a sucker for the chew, man. I like a chewy candy.
Yeah, totally. So in Oregon, Texas, Tennessee, and South Carolina, it's the #1 Halloween candy, which is nuts. Wow. Well, it's #1 there, and in most states, it's second only to chocolate.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just like chocolate as a whole?
Yeah, just chocolate in general, like Hershey bars or.
That's kind of crazy. Yeah.
And I'm assuming maybe. I don't know if Butterfingers or Reese Cups or whatever. I think just chocolate.
Yeah.
So today, a bag of candy corn will run you about $9 a pound, but it originally only cost 25 cents for a pound.
Damn, $9 a pound? Really?
Today, yeah.
That sounds crazy. Is it really that expensive?
I don't know.
Jeez.
More than half of candy corn eaters just pop the whole kernel in their mouth. But some people believe that it should be eaten in sections. I have done this before.
That's me too.
Yeah, okay, good. Because I was gonna say I'm not insane, but I still do it today. I don't do it all the time, but at least a couple of them are going down that way.
Yeah, not all of them, but I do enjoy doing that a little bit. I'm also the person that eats the Kit Kat like all the sides first, and then I pull apart each wafer, and then like
I start from the top and pull the wafers. Yeah, I don't eat the sides. I just go down the top like a maniac. All right, so when you eat the layers, do you start from wide end or thin end? You going, yeah.
That I don't know. I think I switch it up. I don't think I have a preference.
Most people that eat them in sections start at the white end and then go down to the orange end. But
that makes sense.
So it's like a 60-40 on wide, thin to wide.
Yeah.
So
when you eat gummy bears, do you pop the whole thing in your mouth or do you eat the head first?
No, I pop the whole thing in. Yeah, I pop like a bunch in. I normally don't eat one at a time.
I am a one at a time girl.
Are you really? Oh shit!
I eat my popcorn one kernel at a time.
Okay, that's super. Well, I can see. Yeah. Most of the time I'm sharing my popcorn with 2 other people who are trying to fucking just completely destroy the bag. So I'm just like, I gotta get my corn. Yeah, so I'm just doing
True. Lila can destroy some popcorn. I just have to be really fast. Up, down, up, down.
So
1 kernel at a time.
We're gonna end this on 2 fun Halloween stories.
Okay.
Actually, we're gonna end on a upbeat, but these next 2 stories are bummers. In 1950. On September 9th, 1950, while preparing for the Halloween season, the Goelet's confectionery in Midland Park, New Jersey caught fire. One of the kettles used to heat the candy corn ingredients caught fire and caused the biggest candy factory fire in history. Thankfully, all 12 workers managed to get out unharmed, but the fire kept burning. The factory was a block long, and nearby residents had to hose down their homes to keep them cool from catching on fire. It took days before the fire was finally put out. There were thousands of onlookers, and the Golitz company lost 2,000 pounds of candy corn that year.
Wow.
Yeah,
Is it? I guess candy burns.
Oh yeah, it's sugar. It's just fuel.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And then also 1950 wasn't a really good year for candy corn. Also during Halloween in 1950, kids across the country were getting sick with bad diarrhea and skin rashes. It was Halloween, so of course kids were eating more candy than usual, but it was making them sick. These symptoms were eventually linked to the consumption of orange dye number 1. Back in the day, orange dye number 1 was used as food coloring in many products like candy corn and even hot dogs. Orange dye number 1 is considered a coal tar, quote unquote, coal tar dye. Basically, it's derived from byproducts of the coal process, and it contains benzene, which is toxic. So rightfully so, it really got blacklisted and got taken off from the FDA. Regulation.
How did it even get on the list to be used for consumption anyway? What the fuck?
I mean, I don't know when the FDA started, but I'm assuming it was probably like 1949. But you know what I mean? Like people were eating they're just like, oh, well, there's this fucking weird orange shit that comes out when you make tar. We don't know what to do with it. Yeah. It's got a nice color.
Hey, I have a good idea. Let's eat it.
Exactly. You know what we can do? We can call it dye and stick it in things. People don't care. Fuck them. They only live to 30 anyway.
Yeah, it's true.
So we're going to end on this. A package of candy corn can last up to 9 months if left unopened. Once opened, however, the candy should last about 3 to 6 months, which is still a really long time. If it's covered and kept away from light and heat. To put that in perspective, the lifespan of a Twinkie, contrary to popular belief, is only 25 days. Candy corn.
Wow. Candy corn.
Whoop, whoop.
Just like I like my marshmallows and gummy bears, I also like my candy corn a little stale.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, they're a little harder on the outside. It's good.
A little soft on the inside.
It enhances the texture.
You like when the bug stuff gets hard.
Yeah, exactly.
You like
the bug butt juices.
Yeah, the bug stuff. Yeah.
Tasty bug stuff butt juices.
Well, there we go. We did the thing.
Nice. It's like riding a bike.
I know, right? Do you have anything to plug?
I don't. Just be happy out there, you guys.
Go to Peck's
It's
Place.
A crazy world.
I'll say it. Go to Peck's Place. Yeah. Get there. What was the sub that I had when I went there?
Jerk chicken cheesesteak.
That was fucking amazing. And then Leanna got the. Oh, was it like?
What did she get?
Teriyaki. Yeah, the teriyaki cheesesteak.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, that was good. I need to come back. It's just hard getting down there during lunch. Yeah, go to Peck's Place. Their fucking food's awesome. Has that place opened across the street from you yet?
It has.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Oh, cool.
It's good.
Yeah, that's awesome. Mm-hmm. Well, thank you very much, Jenny. I appreciate it. Hopefully you'll be on sooner than later.
Yeah.
And thank you for listening to the Rude Cooking School podcast. As you have found us here on whatever podcatcher or pod sampler or whatever, you know where to find us. But tell your friends, tell your family, tell a neighbor, or tell anyone who's just asking about, like, hey, I'm going to go on a road trip. Do you know any podcasts? Tell them about it. If you know someone who's never listened to a podcast but likes cooking and food history and food news, tell them about it. We don't pay for advertising, and word of mouth is really important. And now that we're back and fully functioning again, it's really nice to see that people are listening again. Join our Facebook group. It's a lot of fun. People are goofy. People are fun. No one is mean. If they are, they're immediately ejected. It's a safe space to talk about food. And that's it. Next week, we will be back. I'll be interviewing someone, and you'll see who it is. It's a really interesting person. She was awesome, and it was a really fun talk and a really interesting time getting to know someone who I didn't know, who actually is in a part of the food industry that's I really hadn't thought about or talked to anyone about. So until next week, my name's John Hauser III.
And my name's Jeni Beck. Watch out for those beaver butt juices.
There it is. Don't yuck my yum. Fucking eat everything. We'll see you guys later. Peace.
Bye.
Yay! Good job. You were awesome. One, two, three, clap. Okay. So do you want to do the don't fuck up, don't fuck yourself, and then I'll come in with the hey everybody, or do you want to do the whole thing?
You do the hey everybody.
Okay.
I'm gonna like pretend like I'm you, so which it will not be close, but let's confuse everyone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Go for it.
Oh, are we doing the music first? No.
No, I put the music in separately.
Oh, I usually hear it.
Really?
Yeah, I always hear it.
No, the music's never been there.
Yeah.
No.
You always played it. Are you sure? No, I swear to God.
I swear to God, it's never been there. It's a separate file. I just have it muted right now. Yeah.
Right. We should just keep all this in. Or just move this to the end.
Oh, yeah.
A blooper. All right. Okay, I'm ready.
Whenever you're ready.